Welcome back to Under the Tights, powered by the one and only Heroes Comics, right here in Fresno at Shaw and Highway 41. It's Wednesday, which means new comic books out today. Before we get to those, we're going to talk about this guy. Hi, I'm Batman. That's how Batman talks. This is actually modeled after the Batman from the comic Dark Knight Returns, which is probably the best Batman story of all time. Of all the times. If you haven't read it, then first of all, you need to stop calling yourself a comic book fan because you're not if you haven't read that. That is fantastic. Go pick that up at Heroes right now. But I bring him out purposely because this Batman, if he looks familiar to you, could be because they modeled Ben Affleck's Batman from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice after this character. That's why the suit looks the way it does. They actually modeled a lot of that movie from the Dark Knight Returns book I was just referencing. But we're going to talk about Ben Affleck and his role of Batman. Of course, he took over that, as I just mentioned, for the first time in Batman vs. Superman, and he's going to play Batman again in the upcoming Justice League film, which comes out at the end of this year. I think November is when that one's going to be released. And he was supposed to be Batman moving forward. They were going to do another standalone Batman movie that Ben Affleck was going to star in. There were some rumors that he was going to write and direct the film, and back in January, he let people know that he is not going to be directing this movie, and that led to some speculation that maybe he was stepping away from the Batman project altogether, and that possibly Justice League was going to be the last time you saw Ben Affleck as Batman. Now, before I get into a whole thing about whether or not he did a good or bad job, personally, I thought he did a good job in Batman vs. Superman. I know the movie got a lot of pushback, and I know that when he was first announced as the new Batman after Christian Bale had done it for so well in those three Dark Knight movies, a lot of people were worried because, you know, he played Daredevil, and that didn't go so well. But I've always thought Ben Affleck is a good actor, and I thought he was perfect for the Bruce Wayne Batman role, and I thought he did a really good job in that movie. And I was disappointed when I heard back in January that he was stepping away as a writer, director, and maybe stepping out of the cape and cowl for good. So I was really happy this week when I learned that that's not the case. Matt Reeves, the director of Planet of the Apes, which is coming out now. He's been doing a lot of promo tour for Planet of the Apes, was asked recently about the Batman movie because Warner Brothers signed him to take over the project once it was made clear that Ben Affleck wasn't going to direct it himself. And he said that Ben absolutely is still going to be Batman in that movie. Matter of fact, he said he's been in the gym recently working out to get back into shape for the film. Now, that's good news to me because I think a standalone Batman flick with Affleck, I think, would be really, really good. I like the Christian Bale movies, but I like them as a standalone. I like those three Dark Knight movies. Batman Begins might be my favorite of those three, but you know, those three, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, and Dark Knight Returns, transpose those two, were really, really good, but that was a good self-contained story, and it's time to move on to another one, and I thought Ben did a great job, so I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward. Now, the movie was scheduled to come out in 2018, the Batman movie. I have a feeling since they haven't really shot anything yet, that's probably not going to happen, so I'll keep you posted if I hear more about that. But I thought it was good news. Ben Affleck still going to be the Batman moving forward. As more details come, I will give them to you. Now, on to Wednesday's new comic books for today. If you're into the Justice League and you're excited for that movie, you don't have to wait for the movie to come out to get more of the League. There's a new Wonder Woman book out today, Wonder Woman 25. It's kind of the wrap-up of the initial rebirth of Wonder Woman. You know, the whole DC rebirth thing has been going on for a while. They're going to wrap up the kind of new mythology that they've created around her in this book, which is out today. There's also Secret Empire number 5, which is out. That's the Captain America as the leader of Hydra thing. That's starting to get really, really interesting. So if you've been following that, make sure you get to Heroes and pick that up today. But in general, if there's anything you want to know about any of the heroes that you're seeing on TV, in the movies, what you're reading about, head out to Heroes and talk to my guys out there. They will point you in the right direction for the books that will get you all the source material, all the background you can want for any of your guys. Hey, just realized the Flash is right there. What's up, Barry? How you doing? It's all out there waiting for you right now at Heroes Comics, Shaw and Highway 41 in Fresno. Until next time, this has been Under the Tights, powered by the one and only Heroes Comics.